5 phrases from immature men that instantly reveal emotional immaturity, lack of self-reflection, and a complete misunderstanding of how the female psyche works. These words don't just annoy, they destroy trust, invalidate your feelings, and show that the person in front of you never grew out of teenage-level ego. If you're a woman, listen carefully. These phrases can save you months or even years of your life. If you're a man, this episode might be the most honest mirror you've ever looked into. Ready? Let's go. The first phrase that immediately gives away an immature man. All women are the same. Sounds harmless at first glance? Maybe, but let's break down what's really happening in his head. When a man says this, he's not just generalizing, he's completely refusing to see you as a unique person. Psychologically, this is a classic defense mechanism, projecting his own failures onto the entire female gender. Instead of admitting that his past relationships fell apart because of his own behavior, lack of responsibility, emotional deafness, or plain laziness, he shifts the blame onto all women. This isn't just stupidity. It's a cognitive distortion psychologists call black and white thinking. The person is unable to hold nuance. For him, the world is divided into always and never. Imagine you're telling him about your feelings, about how important attention is to you, and he responds with, "All women are the same. You're never satisfied." In that moment, he's not hearing you. He's only hearing the echo of his old resentments. And here's what's scary. This attitude doesn't change over time. Attachment research shows that men with this mindset usually have an anxious avoidant attachment style. They fear real intimacy, so they devalue their partner in advance. If you hear this phrase, run. Because the next step is always comparing you to his exes, followed by the complete dismissal of your needs. The second phrase that makes you want to hang up immediately, "You're too sensitive." This is not a compliment. It's a punch to the gut disguised as concern. When a man says, "You're too sensitive," what he's really saying is, "Your emotions are an inconvenience to me." The psychology here is crystal clear. This person grew up in an environment where emotions were considered weakness. He never learned to regulate his own feelings, so any display of yours feels like a threat. Instead of empathy, he chooses invalidation. "You're too sensitive" is a way to shut you down without admitting that his behavior caused your tears or frustration. Remember, you share that his coldness hurts you, and he hits you with this phrase. What happens in his brain? The conflict avoidance center lights up. He doesn't want to examine the reasons, because then he'd have to acknowledge his role. Psychotherapists call this a mild form of gaslighting. Over time, you start doubting yourself. Maybe I really am hysterical. Meanwhile, he continues living in his comfortable world where his ego remains untouched. If you hear this phrase regularly, know this. You're dealing with a man with low emotional competence. He won't change until he goes through deep therapy. And you deserve a partner who says, "Tell me what you're feeling. I want to understand." The third phrase, a true masterpiece of stupidity, "I'm a man. I can do that." Or, "I'm a guy. It's fine for me." Here we touch the most toxic part of male socialization. This phrase is a direct admission. I'm not going to develop as a person because it's more convenient this way. Psychologically, this is pure infantilism. A man who says these words is stuck at a stage where being a real man isn't about responsibility or strength of character. It's a license for irresponsibility. Cheat? It's allowed. Forget an important date? Allowed. Yell when angry? Allowed. Because I'm a man. What's the root of the problem? A distorted model of masculinity imposed by society. From childhood, boys are told, "Don't cry, you're a man." And here's the result. An adult who genuinely believes his gender gives him an indulgence for emotional immaturity. Research in gender psychology confirms such men often show high levels of narcissistic traits. They don't see equality in relationships. For them, a partner is property, not an equal person. If you hear this phrase after yet another one of his screw-ups, know this: he has no intention of changing. Because in his worldview, a man is always right by default. The fourth phrase that destroys trust in seconds: "Come on, it was just a joke." After an insult, after a humiliating comment, after he took a shot at your appearance, your career, or your dreams. And then, "It was just a joke." This is a classic manipulator's trick from someone who doesn't want to take responsibility. Psychologically, denial is at work here. The person realizes he went too far, but instead of apologizing, he shifts the blame onto your inability to take a joke. You end up feeling guilty for not understanding the humor. Meanwhile, he avoids feeling shame. This is especially dangerous in long-term relationships. Gradually, you stop sharing your real feelings because any display of vulnerability might be mocked under the guise of a joke. Studies on emotional intelligence show that people who frequently use this phrase have serious problems with empathy. They either don't understand how their words hurt, or they do, and simply don't care. Either way, this is not someone you can build a safe attachment with. And finally, the fifth phrase, the most insidious one, I don't know what you want. Does it sound like an admission of helplessness? In reality, it's a refusal to truly see you. When a man says, I don't know what you want, after you've clearly told him, he's showing a complete lack of attention. Relationship psychology calls this emotional deafness. The person doesn't want to put in the effort to understand the other. It's easier to say, I don't know, than to start listening, asking questions, and remembering details. This one hurts, especially because behind the phrase lies the deep belief. Your needs are your problem. He's not willing to invest in the relationship on a soul level, yet true maturity is precisely the ability to hear and respond. If you've explained multiple times what matters to you and keep getting this in return, know this: you're facing a man who has chosen the comfort of ignorance over growth. Let's sum it up. These 5 phrases are not random slips. They are markers. Markers of a person's level of development, emotional intelligence, and readiness for real relationships. An immature man says them without even realizing what signal he's sending. A mature man, never. Because maturity means taking responsibility for your words and for how they affect the person you love. Dear listeners, if you've heard even one of these phrases, don't convince yourself that he's just tired or all men are like that. You deserve a partner who sees you fully, and if you're a man and you're recognizing yourself right now, this is not a life sentence. It's a starting point. Begin with therapy, with reading books on emotional intelligence, with an honest conversation with yourself. The world is changing. And real strength is no longer about being a man in the old sense. It's about being a person capable of loving consciously. If this episode touched you deeply, drop a like, write in the comments which phrase you've heard most often. In the next episode, we'll break down how women sometimes say phrases that push away good men. See you then. Take care of yourself and your feelings. You deserve it.